Did the Vikings turn down Kirk Cousins' offer of a hometown discount? Welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I am Lupagus, and there's all kinds of buzz going around the internet that Kirk Cousins basically offered the Vikings a hometown discount, and the team was not interested in that. Before we hop in that too much, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the vids, comment as well. We are closing in on 9,100 subscribers, so thank you to everybody who has subscribed so far. We are going to give away the hashtag 9,000 giveaway here very, very soon, so be sure to drop hashtag 9,000 as there's still time to join that. All right, so Andrew Kramer of Star Tribune has reported the Minnesota Vikings turned down what was basically a hometown discount offer from Kirk Cousins' camp, wanting to extend their time with the Vikings. But the Vikings apparently were not interested, even for a lesser than market value would, what a quarterback of his stature should be going for. Again, this is kind of interesting. Kramer says he heard that Cousins wasn't asking for 40 million Daniel Jones money. He wasn't asking for that much in terms of what Daniel Jones got, who's obviously much younger, but much less accomplished, was a quote that was in the Star Tribune from Andrew Kramer. So Kirk Cousins' camp wanted to stay, said, "Hey, we'll take a number in this range," and the Vikings balked at that, said no. So what does this mean? Could be just part of the negotiation game, or it could really mean that the Vikings are truly ready to move on from Kirk Cousins after this year. We've been seeing all the mock drafts coming out in recent days, obviously with the Hendon Hooker one starting with Daniel Jeremiah. And then more recently, I think it was Charles Davis had the Will Levis going to the Vikings at pick 23. Is this team ready to move on from Kirk Cousins and to do that now in this draft? Hearing the news definitely adds fuel to that fire, to those flames. But the Vikings aren't wanting to keep Kirk Cousins down around even at a discounted price. It would definitely make one think that they are ready to move on, and they could potentially look to do that at pick 23 this year in the draft. Again, who knows how much truth there is to this? This was all hearsay apparently from what Kramer's reporting. But it is very interesting nonetheless. I do feel like, a new regime, as much as Kevin O'Connell loves Kirk Cousins, you always want to have your guy and tie your time to that guy. Mike Zimmer tried to do that with Teddy Bridgewater. Unfortunately, the leg injury kind of thwarted that. So Kwesi, KOC, they're going to want to have their guy. And apparently they're looking for him very soon. So I don't think it doesn't have to happen in this draft if they truly are going to look for a successor. They can wait to 2024. Obviously, you'd want to have a guy learning behind Kirk Cousins. So I think if you can get somebody this year, that's even better. But it doesn't necessarily have to happen, in my opinion. I think they can actually wait until next year's draft if they really want to find that guy. Then maybe just sign a bridge quarterback in the meantime until the young guy's ready. So we'll see what happens. I surely hope this doesn't make the Vikings force something at pick 23, reach on the Hendon Hooker. That would be a major mistake. But the fact that this is being reported from a very credible source tends to make me think this is true and that the Vikings truly are ready to move on from Kirk Cousins, even shooting him down when offered a fairly discounted price for his services. So who knows? Maybe something better will happen. Maybe the Vikings will trade him and get something in return instead of just letting him walk next year. We will find out what happens here in the coming weeks. Things could get very, very interesting, especially as it pertains to the draft and not only what the Vikings will do, but could they potentially get more draft capital for Cousins, sending him to a contender. There's a certain team out there on the West Coast who's just a quarterback away from being pretty much a lock to win the Super Bowl. So we'll see if anything happens with that. But again, Kirk Cousins, apparently the Vikings shot down a contract extension offer from his camp. Let us know what you think in the comments. Do you think this means Kirk Cousins' time with the Vikings is over after this season? Will he play for the Vikings again, or is this all just scuttlebutt and nothing more than just rumblings? Let me know what you think in the comments. And remember to keep your skull in your